Oh yeah, time to sit in the car. Sitting in the car with Lou. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Hey everybody, just listen to a little WFMU here on the car sitting show called The Move Back, which is part of the alternate side parking talking experience. And hello and welcome to Rivington and Eric Holden, two West Coasters currently, Seattle and Los Angeles, or Santa Monica respectively, checking in on the show. Here I am sitting in my car. Not much has changed since this morning. I was on that side of the street, and now I have returned back to this side of the street, which is where I belong for most of the time. Yeah, and then I probably won't move this car again until I need to go to, baseball practice for the kid or the grocery store. The car's a weekend thing here in the city. It doesn't have to be, but I try not to move it unless I completely need to. With a city with such magnificent public transit, well, fair public transit. It's, you don't need a car. Although you would be surprised because so many people drive here. It's kind of crazy. It's one of those things where even, when I'm in LA, I understand everything is spread out. So everyone's driving around. Here, when I have to drive, I'm like, where's everyone going? How can this possibly be necessary? And I think back to all those World War II ads, to about reserving gas. Is this trip necessary? Couldn't this fuel be better used fighting Jerry and the Hun? And I don't mean the Hun, the website, which was like a pornography list back in the day. Surely you're familiar with the Hun as a pornography clearinghouse in the era of link lists, back when pornography was just a, Mark's list or whoever's list. You'd go and be like, what did they have for us today? Are they curating the kind of pornography I like today? Oh, well, I'm in luck. One could be heard to be saying back then. But, not so much these days now with the rise of the tube sites with pornography. It's a real game changer. No more porn blogging. No more... just general pornography stuff. Hey, Joe Garden, nice to see you as well. We're just discussing how pornography has changed. Back in the day when you would go to a site and you'd be like, oh, look at this. I'm just going to download these QuickTimes that were like the samples and then go looking for more samples. The whole thing with pornography was like making people run out of samples and then they got to buy, right? Oh, boy. I can say that I never signed up for any pornography, but maybe you have. Who wants to tell me if they actually signed up for pornography? Join the call. Let me know if you want to join the video, and we can just talk about all your pornography choices over the years. Whether it was that you were into watching weird setup pornography like from Europe, or reality pornography. All that, so many different varieties, right? Okay, I won't really ask you to do that. Although, people be honking behind me. Oh, there's like a whole traffic jammy situation back there. Oh, you get too many minivans trying to troll through the streets. There's gonna be a jam. So yeah, back in the car. Who's watching? Let's see. Eric and one other person. I can't tell. I can't tell who's a... No. Yes. Perfect. So, yeah. What happened today? Not much. Just, trying to tie up all the loose ends that happened in my life. My life is basically all loose ends. But, just trying to wrap some stuff up. Waiting for my Xbox to return. Had to download Fortnite Battle Royale for the PlayStation. I've been playing almost nothing but Call of Duty World War II, which I may have mentioned is the best Call of Duty game in the last 3 or 4 iterations of Call of Duty, which was like an annual thing of leapfrogging developers, and there's a new developer in there. The new developer is fine in my. I used to be a fan of what was it, Infinity Ward, and there's Treyarch, and I was an Infinity Ward fan, and Treyarch was like the zombies guys. Not into the zombie mode. I'm into shooting other dudes. And not in an IRL situation, but in an online-only situation. But, yeah, it's got the action. And it's not total chaos. Like previous Call of Duties have been like complete chaos. Hey! Mark Spurtle is in the house. I hope that you have landed and are not watching from an airplane. Or unless you've landed and you're watching an airplane. But no watching on the approach. That's the important thing. Mark Spurtle, who is watching, is a pilot, and he is landing in New York, or has landed. On time arrival. That's a key part of the WestJet promise. And Mark is making sure it's happening. And hello, Brandy. Nice to see you. Or see your name anyway. If anyone ever wants to join, all you have to do is tell me you want to come on. We can have a live on-camera chat. I'm here for you. Tell me all your problems. But yeah, so I forgot what I was talking about. That's okay. We'll go to the next topic. So, what's new? What's new with all of you? Oh, Mark is sitting in JFK waiting for a shuttle to your airport hotel, I assume. We have not discussed where we are going to meet up later, but let us do that shortly after you get to your hotel. I think last time we had plans, but they fell through. So maybe we can revisit those plans. Who knows? This is boring for other people. So, I was going to ask Brandy, I know that you're excited the Giants are back in town. You are one of the few ladies I know who is so into baseball. It's always entertaining. Although you seem to be very focused on a very few amount of the San Francisco Giants that you seem to be enamored of. But, and David C. Owens watching. There's so many people watching. It's a McBurney reunion happening here on the, well, 2 people are from McBurney. Now 1 person from McBurney. But, yeah, I'm surprised. There's a lot, look across the street here. Those people have not moved their cars. And if you look behind me, well, you can't really see because of the middle headrest, but there are cars back there, and there are cars and for real New York experience. That car with the flashing lights, that's a new. Don't worry about that car. But yeah, it's crazy. Now there are 5 people watching this. We might hit a record if enough people get on. And like I said, if anyone wants to chat, all you gotta do is, I know you're probably at work, but who's gonna know? You get your headphones on, you can just nod at my questions. That's cool. We just chat. So yeah, it's I have a hard time believing people haven't moved their cars back yet. Half the block's already parked in by the time I get here, and it's 5 o'clock. I was in the elevator in the train station with the lady who parked behind me. And, I don't want to speak poorly about her. Sometimes she parks with too much space. You know my issues with people who park with too much space in front or behind, especially in New York City, where you've got a limited amount of goddamn parking spots. It's troubling, to say the least. This morning, I posted a photo on Instagram of the coffee shop up here. For some reason, people will not fucking park to that pole. They park 5 feet away from it. And it's clearly the demarking line of where you can park. Why wouldn't you park to the line? I don't get it. It should be like, how like when you're on an empty beach and someone will find you and sit next to you, you want to be close to that sign. I don't know. I don't know. And then Dinah. Hello, Dinah. How are you? You're watching me live. Have you slept? I know you missed me in the morning. Well, you were up in Seattle. But then maybe you went to sleep. I don't know. You were awake but missed me, and then now you're awake again or still awake. That would be troubling if you were still awake. That's a long time to be awake. What was I going to say? I've been watching. I finally got Jody to watch the first season of The Good Place, which I think we can all agree is a mighty entertaining show. It's not a traditional sitcom. It's not a traditional any kind of show. It's like a good dramedy. Is that the two words you would mash together to make that one word? Oh, this person's moving. Look at that. They're moving their car. Oh, there they go. Prius trying to find a parking spot. I know, it's exciting. But, and we started watching season 2 of The Good Place, but we're in that zone where Hulu doesn't have it yet. Netflix doesn't have it yet. Hulu has the last 6 episodes that played, so it has the end of the season, but not the beginning of the season. On Demand only has the first episode of the second season, and then the last part. And then to watch it, you have to get the NBC app, which my TV doesn't get. And then my Xbox One is out for repair, so no dice there. But I found out I could download the NBC app on my phone and then Chromecast it to my TV, which seems like a rigmarole, but it worked. So we were able to watch some TV as a test last night. But I let Jody watch Top Chef because she enjoys the food battles. You know what I'm saying? I know. It's hello, Thurston, another person from Seattle. So we've had 3 people call in from Seattle today: Eric, Thurston, and Dinah. 3 friends of mine who live in Seattle and refuse to meet. It's just how it goes. I try to be a connector, a super connector. I try to bring people together from disparate parts of the world and disparate friend groups, and I try to get them all in one place, and I try to get them to do a fusion dance so they can create a new person. They refuse to do this fusion dance. Just because it's on an anime doesn't mean it doesn't work in real life. You got to try that. So I want you guys to do that. You missed the Japanese Iron Chef. I mean, Dinah is saying she misses the Japanese Iron Chef, which had its novelty in the the early days of Food Network and all that. And I agree that, like all things American, we've taken something that was popular and just driven it into the ground. With now it's like whatever, Top Chef, weird battles. There goes Ace. Hi, Ace. He's coming home from school right now. So I mean, Japanese Iron Chef was really exciting, and then it was novel, and now I don't think I can get excited for it anymore. But then American Iron Chef was terrible. Like, not terrible, but Bobby Flay, they didn't have the same kind of stakes, and now they've reduced the stakes even more. So it's just like Iron Chef versus Iron Chef, or some other dumb baloney. Plus the fact that now cooking battles are, so commonplace. Ace of Cakes, that's the show with the bald guy, not Cake Boss, the Ace of Cakes. Yeah, he now does the kids baking challenge, right? What's that guy's name? I just saw him and Valerie Bertinelli, ruining children's dreams by shitting on their bakery, or making their dreams come true by praising their bakery. It's not just a one-way street. But I personally, I'll enjoy a Top Chef, a Master Chef, or whatever, Hell's Kitchen, whatever. But my attention span drops way off when it gets to drama-y with all the cliffhangers and like, you know who's gonna get? That's right, Duff. That's the guy's name, Duff. So you miss Ace of Cakes, but you hate it, or you don't. They did make cool cakes, better than Buddy Valastro, I thought. But none of those cakes ever seem edible. At which point it's sort of like, why bother? I do, of course, love the Paul F. Tompkins Ace of Cake Boss character who had once made a sentient cake that he had to destroy. That was very funny. But, yeah, that Duff guy does seem like a big dum-dum. But he knows his baking. And there was a kid made some kind of a crazy baked thing that Duff actually was like, that's true, you did make a sentient cake. But anyway, Duff was like, I'm stealing this recipe. And I totally believed him. Dinah, of course, made a cake puppet, Cakey the Cake from Outer Space, which was a very funny show. And unfortunately, I don't know why that didn't become a thing on Nickelodeon. Honestly, more entertaining than Elf, that's for sure. But I don't know. What's it going to take for one of Dinah's ideas to make it on goddamn television? You heard me, television executives who are certainly watching this. Make it happen. Anyhow, trying to think of the other horrible things. But like whenever it's like a Halloween challenge or like cupcake bake-off or whatever on Food Network, I just can't stand that shit. It's like all that, you know, I'm bringing this giant Frankenstein head made out of cotton candy. That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say rock candy, but I meant cotton candy. Frankenstein head made of cotton candy. And then it's like, oh no! Plap. But it's made of cotton candy, so it didn't break. But if I made it out of like, poured hot sugar, then for certain it would break. I made a batleth. This is a Star Trek challenge. I made a Klingon batleth out of hard sugar. The handle is made out of an old eclair, and I'm going to use it to prove that I'm a man. And then, we got to get it over here, and snap and destroy it. This guy's walking his dog real close to my car, and I do not like it. You can see him passing right there. Eating an apple, walking a dog. Show off. But yeah. So, cooking shows, not the best. But I am looking forward to, now that I've figured out this whole nonsense with the NBC app, being able to watch shows on my television from my phone, which seems like some sort of voodoo. But apparently, it works, because I made it happen. It does work. Not apparently. I'm going to be in Vegas again this year in April. If you are going to be in Vegas on April 9th through 12th, let me know. We can have some kind of a meal. Or we can gamble together and feel bad about ourselves when we lose all our money, which is the inevitability. Over the long life of your gambling career, you will lose more money than you make. Unless you have some kind of a scam or a system. I remember at one of our riot events, we had 2 riot events where we had speakers come, and the first one was great. I've probably spoken about it before, where we had like the guy that Catch Me If You Can is based on, and the guy who helped plan landing one of the Mars landers on Mars, and a guy who invented CSI something or other. And how about like, each one of them had a mission. Each one of these stories had like a really specific lesson to be taught, and they were all really good. Like, I was like, this is great. Every person is better. And then the next year we had the guy who was part of that like college poker cheating or blackjack cheating club that is now he's banned at all major casino events, but he'll be invited to talk there and stuff, whatnot. And his whole story of like how they scammed all the casinos with his like MIT or Harvard brain trust was interesting, but at the same time he came off kind of like a dick. And then that year they also had like a special team or a special forces colonel or something also gave us a thing about teams and leadership. That was interesting, but also had sort of a call and response part where we all had to stand up and say hua or one of those sort of army chants. And then he was like, whoa, you guys are better than soldiers, to which I was like, really? I doubt that severely. This room full of pasty computer nerds is somehow more energetic than a bunch of trained killing machines. I don't even want your platitudes. I have no gratitude for your platitude, if you know what I'm saying. And if you speak English, you do. Who is this child looking at his phone, probably listening to Little Peep? Ugh. Anyway, I listened to the F+, which is another podcast similar to my own podcast, where it's a bunch of people reading silly things and sort of commenting on them as they go. So, whereas mine is just reading things as they are, and I try not to comment, although sometimes I must. But the latest episode featuring me about Urban Dictionary was pretty entertaining to listen to for me. And normally I don't always listen to everything that I'm on because sometimes it's cringy. But this episode I found to be quite listenable. So if you get a chance or you're bored, please go listen to the F+'s latest episode. And then also listen to my podcast's latest episode. Latest episode, Lou Reed's. There goes another car. And moving cars. People moving cars. Makes me feel good. Yes. My podcast, the latest episode, is about a forum called hellotaxi.websitetoolbox.com, which is really a forum for men who wear bras. And whether it be medically necessary or because they think makes them feel fancy, although they are straight, or because they are gay, or they are cross-dressers, or they are transitioning. People just talking about why they be wearing bras. Dudes be talking about bras, brah. Know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Anyway, my time is winding down here, thank goodness. Another 25 minutes of talking to myself, and it's, I know it looks fun to talk to yourself, but it's so much easier when you guys are here and I can talk to the little eyeball with a number of how many people may or may not be watching. And remember, always, in the future, if you just say, hey, Lou, let's catch up, or whatever you want to say, I'll just push the add button and we can talk. And it'll be fun. Maybe slightly more fun than me talking about myself. Now, today I was supposed to have a guest. Unfortunately, that guest got a meeting that he had to go to at 5 o'clock, so he could not come into the car. What are you going to do? Can't force people to come sit in a car. And sometimes I guess it's not enticing enough to miss some kind of a work event for. I guess my priorities are mixed up, because I would come sit in your car. No, that's not necessarily true. It depends. This I have to do. This is because I need to do it. because I'm sitting here protecting my car from a ticket person. If you had a car that was just, if it wasn't for if you were just like, come sit in my car, I don't know if I would do it. And it's just being honest. But it's mostly because I have so many other responsibilities. I have more responsibilities than you. That's what I'm saying. I have to go home now and yell at my children about whatever I feel like. It may just be some random yelling, about how worthless they are. Because it's important to crush a child's spirit. The end. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in my car next week. And again, feel free to chime in. We'll see you next week. This has been The Move Back with your host, Lou Fernandez. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.